blessings to stand strong. So thank you for being here. Jennifer Matson from the Baton Rouge Tea Party has some closing words.
Thank you. That's going to be a tough act to follow. I've got to say, we have an absolutely beautiful crowd out here today. Thank you all for coming. If you guys haven't taken the time to sign up on our website, it is www.batonrougeteaparty.net, and that way you'll be kept informed on upcoming events. But now to get started. A year ago today, if you told me that I would be a political activist, I'd have laughed at you. I never intended to be part of, much less a leader in a political movement. I went to my first Tea Party meeting with a steno pad and was elected secretary. I was simply a concerned citizen who wanted to make a difference. History is written by those who show up, and today you have shown up in droves. Like everyone here, I woke up one morning and I realized that the government had grown so large that it was threatening future generations, robbing future generations, and tearing apart the fabric of the American spirit. The government didn't wedge itself into our lives overnight. It slowly creeped in over the course of several decades. Since the 1930s, the progressive movement has tiptoed into our homes, our schools, our churches, and our families. While the progressives on the left and right side of the aisle amassed control, the conservatives were distracted by the hustle and bustle of everyday life. Finally, the encroachment on freedom became too great for the silent majority to bear, and the Tea Party movement was born. Somewhere along the way, we stopped caring. We started believing that our opinion did not matter. We thought we couldn't make a difference. But I'm here to tell you today that that is absolutely false. We are not going to restrict the role of government overnight. We are not going to restore the republic in a work week. We are facing a multi-generational battle, and the Tea Party is the first line of infantry. A year ago today, Americans stopped yelling at their televisions and started becoming involved. We live in a representative republic, which requires the participation of the population in order to limit the power of government. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, and our journey is to restore the glory of this nation to its rightful place. The Tea Party movement is the first step. We are taking the first step. We are the ultimate check and balance. For far too long, our public officials have remained silent or even apathetic on issues that concern the American people. Many of us have sat and watched in disbelief as our elected officials pass legislation that contradicts our Constitution and those ideals that all Americans strive to live by: freedom, self-reliance, and equality for all. It is time we hold our elected officials accountable. Campaign promises must be followed through. We will not tolerate empty promises and stump speeches. How hard would you work if your boss only showed up every 4 or 6 years? Good government requires an active citizenry, and Tea Party members are active citizens. The Republican Party is anticipated to make gains in the House and Senate this November. But a Republican victory does not mean the end of the Tea Party movement. No matter what party is in power, the people must remain active in the legislative process. We must remain vigilant, we must remain strong, and we must remain involved or surrender our liberties. Activism has brought our nation to this point. Citizen activism has the potential to get our country back on the right track. Activism cannot be created by Washington, D.C. or purchased by political PACs. Activism is the energy and passion of this crowd. Give yourselves a round of applause. Is the tireless hours you spend educating your friends and neighbors. It is the time you spend researching issues and getting involved in the electoral process. Our opponents are going to try and marginalize us. They will try to define us in order to intimidate us from speaking out. You know who you are. You know what you stand for. Stand proud, speak loud, and let those in power know who's really in charge. They are referred to us as an angry mob. And we are angry about excessive spending going on in Washington. We are angry about our tax dollars being used to bail out private companies, take over the automobile industry, and purchase Congress private jets. Yes, we do. We are angry that our tax dollars are continually spent to purchase congressional votes in the form of earmarks. So if being angry about these things makes me part of an angry mob, then consider me a mobster. Me too! For far too long, we have waited for the next Ronald Reagan to emerge on the political scene and halt the progression of governments. As we have waited for our political savior, the nation has fallen into a state of decline. Every person in this crowd has the potential to be the next conservative leader. We can no longer wait for those in office to do the right thing. We must make room in our schedule to make sure that they are doing the right thing. Woo! Many here are concerned about increases in taxes, but my generation is being robbed of something even more valuable than a paycheck. Every time a politician or an elected official promises to right a social or economic wrong, they insinuate that we are incapable of solving the problem on our own. They are preventing us from pursuing happiness and asking us to settle for government-issued mediocrity. My generation will never know if we had the strength, the courage, and the drive to succeed because the government is making sure that we cannot fail. My mistakes and my successes are mine and mine alone. My future will be determined by my choices, not my congressman. The 2008 election was about hope and change. The 2008 election was about hope and change. The 2010 election will be about faith and trust. I have faith that the people of this nation will throw the crooks out of office and replace them with people we can trust. In you, and I trust you will do everything in your power to get this country back on the right track. Have faith in your own moral compass and trust that it will lead you in the right direction. As individuals, our voices were drowned out by mass media. As a group, we have the power to change the direction of this nation. We must put aside petty differences and past feuds. We must look to the future and be prepared for a long political battle. We will not win every battle against progressivism, but we will win the figurative war. As I've